Face to right. Face forward. Can I see?
Get back!
Word up, this is Sage, and we're going to do a reaction video to Promise. Promise is from different shows. She's been on like different debates and discussions about faith. She deconstructed, and she's been on shows like The Line and different atheist live stream call-in shows. And she does really well on those shows. And I think her background, she used to be a religious person. She used to be, I believe, Christian, and then she deconstructed. She has her own channel. Her channel is Promise Backlund. I don't know if I think it's her last name. I'm not sure, but yeah. So check out her channel if you like her content. She does commentary and talks about life and talks about the questions that she had to tackle when she was questioning her faith. And we're going to look at this. This is a little bit of a lighter video. It's a funny video, but serious. You know, it kind of talks about the different things that Christians, well, now we're ex-Christians, how we used to be and our attitudes and things like that. So we're going to jump right into this fresh. I haven't seen the full video, so we're going to jump right into this.
Everybody, Promise Backlund here. I watched a bunch of Christian TikToks, so you don't have to, but I'm going to share some of them today.
Face to right. Face forward. Can I see?
Get back!
They act as if they're going to ban the Bible. I mean, there's been a lot of books banned and everything, but the Bible, I mean, you live in the United States. You're not in some, like a place where there's no freedoms. We could practically read any book, any books. Now, there may be books banned in certain stores, maybe, but that's a business thing. Really, it's just you can read any books you want to read. You can publish any books you want to, publish. The Bible, it's very unrealistic to see the Bible completely banned from everything. The educational system, public schools, I think that they may have limitations and stuff like that. Well, it's because, we're not supposed to have like a dominant religious belief in our public school system. School system is supposed to be educational, and that's it. And they tell you how to think about things, not what to think. So
They want to be persecuted so badly, and yet are so privileged that they have to go on the internet and make TikToks LARPing. That's one of my favorite terms to use about the evangelicals. LARPing as though they are actually being persecuted against. You live in the United States of America. You don't have to worry about the Bible being banned.
Right.
Although you guys are actively trying to ban a bunch of other books that have significantly less graphic, violent, less everything bad than the Bible. And
yeah, the Bible has genocide. The Bible has people being enslaved and beaten. You got people who are plagued with diseases by God, and you have people dashing children against a stone. You got stonings, of course, for not being a virgin. You have assaults on women and men. You got people, sacrificing their fellow human beings. You got all kinds of things. Maybe not the most violent book, but it has stuff in it, that evangelicals would look at another book that has the same content, the same level of violence, and they want to throw it out. They want to ban it. It's really silly.
So weird how they just want to be persecuted. Wait till you see this next one.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's a fake. It's a filter on his face. You'll see it pop in at the beginning of the video if you ever seen this video. And Christians, and I used to kind of do this. You have sort of a martyr complex, especially the ones that go out preaching. They sometimes, they're out preaching and people are yelling at them. I mean, that's the most that you'll get. But sometimes you will get, people who are have a lot of anger and they actually get physical. But this isn't like persecution as described in the Bible where they're cutting your head off. Now, people get annoyed by preachers, street preachers, and people who are trying to witness to them one to one, in the grocery store or wherever. They may get snippy at you because they've been wronged by some religious people, or they're just annoyed by religion in general. But being annoyed at you is not persecution.
Okay, I have to freeze this and show you guys. That's a filter to make it look like he has a black eye. So he's LARPing again. And did you catch this part where he lists girls flirting as warfare?
More silliness. When you have the Christian glasses on, religious glasses on, you see everything as fighting a war, always fighting a war against people, against all kinds of stuff. You think there's a devil behind every rock, behind every intention of people. You think that people's intentions are influenced by the devil when they're just being normal people. And, girls flirting with you, that should be a natural thing. If they like you, they flirt with you. There's nothing wrong with that. And the Bible, it puts on you this being that's trying to control your thoughts, when thoughts are not really that big of a deal. And it's perfectly natural to be attracted to the opposite sex, even sexually. I think that it's very distorted when it comes to religious classes about us human beings and how we are. If you study psychology, you study the way that, we socialize and the science behind everything, you start to drop all this supernatural warfare stuff. It's very exhausting, actually.
These are the battles that Christians are fighting every day. Real tough out here. So tough that they have to get on TikTok and pretend that they've been beat up, use a filter, and then use another weird filter at the end to show eyes changing. I don't know what that's all about. But again, just the LARPing, the wanting to be persecuted so badly. It's really, really, really cringe.
God is good, faithful all the time.
Oh man. I think pouring out soda, I mean, it's good to get rid of stuff that is unhealthy for your body. And I'm making an assumption here about the video. I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but it's not like you're doing anything, unique. There are companies out there that if we disagree with their ethics, their values, the ingredients that they use, we all do what we have to do. We just don't put money in their pockets and we just throw it out.
A little context for those of you who are out of the Christian loop. Coca-Cola has a website, I guess, where you can custom design your Coke bottle to say your name or a phrase. And I guess Christians have figured out, again, I don't know if it's true or not, that you can't say Jesus is king and some other things like that, but you can say Satan is king. And so they think that Coca-Cola is persecuting them. Are you seeing a pattern here? But what's hilarious is in this video, this lady is clearly upset about that. And she takes the Coke bottles that she has and she's dumping them all out as like a fuck you to Coke. But she doesn't understand that she already paid for them. So now she's just saying, like, you're persecuting me, and now I don't even get the soda that I already paid for, and I'm going to pour it down the drain. But she's also given publicity to them by posting about this. Now I'm doing it too, so I don't know. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I guess Christians are just like really, really persecuted.
It's very silly. And I'm glad she said, she gave a little background on this. I didn't know Coca-Cola was doing the name stuff and all that stuff. So it's I think we have better things to worry about. That's what I would tell my fellow Christians. Well, they won't let me put Jesus is king. Even as a Christian, I would look at them kind of weird, like, okay, whatever. I think my mindset would think that way because of the deconstructing that was going on. That was one of the small things, incremental things that I was deconstructing, is there's not a warfare behind everything. Do we really need them? We can buy other products. I mean, businesses are going to do what they want to do.
Guys, I just had a God wink, and I have to tell you about it because these things happen to me, and I love them. And if you don't think that God has a sense of humor, you don't know him yet. Get to know him. He is so funny. And he just takes such good care of us. Okay, I'm eating random foods today. I'm fitting it into my macros, and I needed 80 grams of pasta. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to be out of pasta. So I poured the actual whole rest of the bag of pasta into here, and guess how many grams it was? Just guess. 80 freaking grams, baby, on the money.
This is silly too. It's kind of like miracle versus coincidence versus luck. She wants to conclude that God had a hand in this accurate measurement that she had in a bag. See, when you put those religious classes on, everything is translated as supernatural. Especially rare things that happen, things that, are not common. And then it's, common or uncommon, there's always some kind of supernatural intervention there without any proof or evidence of that. Another person, who believes in Buddha, this can happen to them too. When you're superstitious like this, it makes you translate everything, small, trivial things to big things. There's no questioning. There's no other candidate explanations for the reason why this happened. Sometimes things happen by accident, by luck, by timing. There's coincidences. And whenever you question them, how do you know it's a coincidence versus a miracle or something from God? They really cannot explain that. And they can't get evidence for how supernatural intervention is a candidate explanation.
Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a God wink is whenever, like, you need something, and, like, you're at the very end of something. It's the last bit of baking powder, it's the last bit of flour, it's the last bit of pasta, it's the last bit of, for some reason, or, like, food-related items, because he knows I just love food so much, but, like, it happened, and I love it, and I love
I would call God winks like that good luck or a coincidence.
Right.
I would think of a God wink as something like, let's say, there's an entire country that is going through a famine, and maybe if God were to, like rain down some food for them.
That would be a better wink. Or healing every child in the hospital today, right now, of every ailments, of all their elements and everything, it would be on the news. It would be very big. It would be extraordinary. And I would have to kind of question myself, wow, this is extraordinary. That would be a better wink. That would be a better wink.
Or maybe if there was a wildfire and it was about to take over a neighborhood and he completely stopped it in some kind of supernatural way. Maybe if, I don't know, there was a genocide going on and God decided to step in and protect at least the children. That would be a cool God wink.
Yeah, that's what I would call a good God wink. What she just said, it's like, genocide going on or some kind of violence, and God sends, a bunch of angels, maybe. That would be an even bigger wink. And you can actually see it and you can stream it, and everyone would have no doubt, most people would have no doubt that this had to be the hand of God. Now, which God? That's the other test. But yeah, this is just a sample of what Promise Backlund has on her channel. And if you like her stuff, if you like what you've seen so far, you can check her out. And you can look at the full video, and I'll post the link below in the caption so you can watch her and all of her content. She does a really great job of explaining her views and explaining what she used to believe and giving some good insight into how we should think about certain things. So check her out. Also, check out me, Sage. It's Sage. And subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.